Watch this video if you want a step-by-step visual guide on how to put together IKEA's Alex 5-drawer set. So these are the tools you need: a hammer. I used an electric drill gun. If not, just use a flathead and a Phillips head screwdriver. I like to go ahead and get everything set up. If you have a table, wonderful. If not, no big deal. I did put the first two of these together on the floor, but this definitely helped save my back. So once you have things laid out, the parts and pieces, they do not separate them or label them. Nothing is actually labeled. Get yourself a bowl, just kind of dump them all out there so you have them at your fingertips. These are the first pieces you need. So the two boards with the metal tracks and then that middle piece with 6 holes in it. You're going to need those screws, and they go in the small holes on each of the metal track pieces. So 6 altogether, 3 on each piece. Then you need 12 dowels, and there's going to be 4 in each piece. So on the metal track ones, they go in the bottom and up top. In the middle piece, they go on the sides between the big holes, and again, top and bottom there. So this is me just putting the dowels in. Once you do that, I like to take the middle piece and stand it up on the right side, just like so. You're going to need the plastic pieces, not the metal ones, the plastic. Put them in the holes where the screws have aligned. I like to flip it over and then slide the other piece in, like so. Going to need those same pieces. Also important to note, they do have arrows to show where you need to put it in at. Very important. Again, in the big holes. Now you're going to do the top and bottom. This is the top and the bottom. You need 12 of those. 6 on each piece. And then you also need the plastic things again. They're going to go in those holes, 3 on each side. So this is the bottom piece that I'm putting on first. Kind of pop that in. I like to get it standing up so that it's got the weight on it. Putting in those plastic pieces. There's the top, getting that all aligned. Flipping it over. Again, I like weight on it. Putting those plastic pieces in. And then we did not get the wheels, we got the little legs on them. So go ahead and do that while you have it flipped upside down. And now it's time for your drawers. So I like to go ahead and get all my drawer pieces together. You have 3 of the bigger ones and 2 of the smaller ones. You need those pieces again. You're going to put 4 in each of the bigger drawer fronts. So every hole that's on those is going to get one of those pieces. In the smaller ones, it's a little bit different. All right, so that's what it should look like. You can see 4 in the bigger ones and then 1 on the smaller ones with a dowel. So here you're just kind of getting the sides of your drawers put on. This, you're switching to the metal ones, not the plastic ones anymore. Again, it does have an arrow. They go on the outside of the drawers. So get those secured. And again, it's really important that you're lining up your tracks so that your board can just slide right in. You have to make sure that they match. That's very important, your seams. Finally, you take that last piece there. That's going to be the back of your drawer. Once you have that on, this is hammered in with plastic, I don't know, nail screws. But just hammer those in on each side, so 4 per each drawer. And then you're just repeating 3 times for the bigger ones. And then I'm going to show you, that's what the finished product will look like. Looks great. Now for the smaller ones, you're using everything smaller and thinner. So there's your dowel and your metal piece. You're going to use those for the sides again. Again, make sure your seams are lined up. Start with your sides. Get those metal pieces in there. Screw those in. I mean, it's the same process as the bigger ones. It's just you're working with smaller stuff, and you do have a wood dowel and only one screw in there. And there you have your 2 smaller drawers and your 3 bigger drawers. Now to install the drawers, I like to take the tracks out all the way, get them lined up with the drawer. And then once they're in, pull the tracks all the way to the front of the drawer. You take the 2 small metal screws and they go inside on the 2 little holes that are in the drawers. And that's what's drilling into your tracks. And sometimes they are really finicky and you have to adjust the track and all sorts of stuff to make sure that the holes line up. But it wasn't too awful. It wasn't too awful. All in all, I felt like this was really easy to assemble for the most part. And again, I'm a visual learner, and while the instructions were to me easy to understand, I know some people really like to watch a video about it. So I hope this has been helpful. I don't have all the proper names of things, so I'm sorry I couldn't call out the exact parts and stuff, but I'm hoping that you were able to follow along.